One of the biggest signs you're uncomfortable with your own boundaries is that you need to over explain every decision you make. You find yourself apologizing before saying no. You feel the need to justify why you can't attend, why you're not comfortable, or why you've changed your mind. Instead of simply communicating your decision, you start building a case for why your decision should be accepted. But you don't need to convince someone that your decision is reasonable before you're allowed to make it. You can decline an invitation without providing a detailed explanation. You can tell someone that you're not comfortable with something without defending your feelings. You can change your mind without convincing anyone that you have a good enough reason. And notice what happens when you stop explaining. When you give a reason for being too tired, someone may suggest making plans easier. When you explain that something isn't affordable, they may try to convince you that it isn't that expensive. When you say you need time alone, they may question why you've been distant. Your explanation becomes an opening for negotiation. That doesn't mean you can never explain yourself. Sometimes an explanation is appropriate, especially when you genuinely want to share it. The difference is whether you're explaining because you want to communicate or because you feel you need permission for your decision. You are allowed to make choices about your own life without getting everyone else to agree with them. You don't have to soften every boundary with an apology. You don't have to make your no sound more acceptable. You don't have to convince someone that your feelings are reasonable before they become valid. Make your decision, communicate it clearly. If necessary, repeat it without adding new justifications, and then let the silence exist, even if it's an awkward silence. You don't have to keep talking just because someone else is uncomfortable with your answer.